Hello everybody! So sorry for the delay. We had one of our teams took a little bit to get here, but they are now here. They are in the right room, and we are good. So we're just getting the lobby sorted, but welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nexus Gaming series. Now, you may all be aware that there is something very important, a battle of epic proportions going on right now, which can have incredible ramifications across the US and beyond. And that is, of course, the lower bracket match here at the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division today between these two teams. Let's have a look at the table to show where we are. So, as you can see, we are in the lower bracket at the moment. Lower bracket round 1. To be precise. We will be showing you the match between Team Alexander, who lost for the second time in NGS history to Chili Mountain, and they are going up against Team ReGen, who are on their last possible chance now. Jaceline, thank you for the sub. But they are on their last chance to fight their way back in. Before the actual Nexus Gaming Series started, ReGen were one of the only teams, there were only like 3 teams during the qualifiers who actually took maps off of Team Alexander. But now, they have to not just take maps, they have to take one full series. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. Team Alexander have shown that they have what it takes to win the Storm Division. But they have been felled. They've been felled by several teams now. This is doable. Let's have a look at the draft. Let's have a look at the maps to show you exactly where we're going to be heading during this first series. ReGen lost the coin flip. Team Alexander winning first pick. As such, ReGen banned out Cursed Hollow. Team Alexander banned out Brax's Holdout. ReGen banning out Dragon Shire. And Team Alexander banning out Infernal Shrines. With the map choice going over to ReGen, and they are taking us to Battlefield of Eternity for this game number 1 of this best of 5 series. Again, this will have rippling ramifications throughout the rest of the bracket. Plenty of opportunities for either of these teams to take victory here. As you can see, winner of this will go on to play against the winner of VGM versus Velocity. Very strong teams between the very strong teams still all the way through this. Velocity, they will also be on their last chance. These are all last chances. This is the lower bracket. There are no second chances here, but everyone gets one. Now then move on to the next round. Team Alexander or ReGen versus VGM or Velocity, winner of which will play against the loser of Chili Mountain and Team Exodia. Chili Mountain, who have put on just a fantastic performance. They really have, considering how rough they looked a little bit earlier during the actual startup, the lead up to this. They actually, in terms of the actual group stage, they finished in 4th. Quite low on the table, very surprising. But in this case, Chili Mountain have managed to not only be the only team, in fact, that took a full series off of Team Alexander. They are now in the upper bracket finals, tied on 5-2. So I say they're in 4th place. They are tied in 4th place with VGM and tied in 2nd place with VGM and Team Exodia. All of them on 5-2, but Chili Mountain a little bit lower down. In fact, in terms of map win-loss, Chili Mountain should be in 2nd. So there we go. In terms of seeding, Chili Mountain are in 2nd, which is why it's not too surprising to see them in the top half of the bracket. So, okay, so I have some news for everybody. I have some news. Due to a delay, due to the fact that Team Alexander were too slow to arrive, they have unfortunately broken the rule about arriving on time and being on time for matches. As such, they have received a penalty. They arrived 10 minutes after their match was supposed to start and hadn't even done the draft until 6 minutes after it was supposed to start. As such, they have been awarded a penalty, and as such, Team Alexander will start this match 1 map down. ReGen will start this map 1-0 up. in terms of the series. So ReGen now only have to win 2 maps in order to emerge victorious. Team Alexander have to win 3. That's what you get for being tardy, and I'm so glad they're doing it. Feels good. Don't be late. It's disrespectful to the audience. I know there are things that can happen, but that's why punishments are here. So, just so we're clear, ReGen is starting 1-0 up because of Team Alexander being late. The lobby still stands. We're still starting in the same place. Caster R. I think, though, that we are now ready to go. This shirt is just unreadable now. Yeah, just with all the green screen eating so many chunks of it. But there we go. We're going to be jumping into the draft now, as you can tell by that sound. Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the draft of our lower bracket. Again, ReGen starting 1-0 up due to Team Alexander breaking the rule about showing up on time. Both teams did not respond, but ReGen arrived within the 10-minute buffer. Team Alexander did not. There is always a buffer because emergencies can happen. Team Alexander are the only ones who broke the full rule, and ReGen did respond in private messages to the admin on time as well. So ReGen were here on time. Team Alexander were not, to be clear. There were messages that were done. I was not communicated to that ReGen had communicated to the admin, but it has been told to me now. We're already on the way, though. We are rushing through it now as we have Team Alexander starting off with the bans onto Garrosh and Arda. Big targets here, trying to get rid of a couple Porky heroes, perhaps. And on the other side, Chromie has been removed. We know just how absolutely terrifying this Chromie is. And Team Alexander, very big fans of it. It's great siege. Rombia, Battlefield of Eternity as well. It's a great Chromie map. So being able to siege onto that Immortal would be fantastic. Cassia, another hero who has really leapt up in priority when it comes to this map due to the fact of the rise of Q build. The Thunder Fury build really jumping up in priority due to some significant nerfs to some of the more closer range Cassia talents. So having that extra range can really give you a higher damage output and a safer damage output. So, Team Alexander. What do we see as first pick? Sylvanas. We are on the new patch, ladies and gentlemen. Sylvanas also, for starters, it's just one of their top heroes. Team Alexander love that Sylvanas. She's also one of the highest win rates in professional games right now across NGS and most other professional leagues, including the games we had in Korea recently, which were awesome. But the Sylvanas also has received some buffs to later talents, like they buffed Mind Control again. And they also buffed Withering Fire at level 20, meaning that it also applies Banshee's Curse, which is broken! If they live to level 20, Cassia is now Sylvanas is gonna be ridiculous. ReGen, though, they're gonna be picking up Greymane and Stukov. Stukov, a great steal away from Hyde, and Greymane is one of the best racers in the game. So he's gonna be able to try and burn down that Immortal quickly. Sylv does add to that, and if we get that Immortal for Team Alexander, Sylv, of course, adds to the pushing potential very effectively. Very early Deathwing coming in for Team Alexander with the Diablo potential double fire breath. Team Alexander, by the way, they also played in that Korean tournament I talked about earlier, and they struggled. The Diablo was very, very popular in Korea with Lightning Breath as the main go-to build. But Deathwing coming in again against a Greymane, potential Cursed Bullet power. Going to be coming in against that Deathwing. They have to be careful, but Diablo adds that second big, beefy hit point pool that might cause some disruption. Lucio, another Hyde special here, going to be taken out of action here. So we wait for the final ban from Team Alexander. Let's see where we go. Team Alexander, they're going to take out... Take out who? That is the question. Team Alexander remove Muradin from the board. Muradin, one of the tanks that's actually quite good into Diablo. Garrosh is also very high up there. This kind of limits the tank pool a little bit. Not much. There's still plenty of decent options here, and I very much doubt Porky's going to have too much trouble. We have Hanzo on the board. We need offlane. And we need main tank. Leoric classic choice for the offlane. Most percentage damage on any hero outside of Tychus. The ability to burn through that Deathwing, very sensible. Try and melt him down. The potential for evil for either Mithril Mace, or maybe it's just stick with the Ominous Wraith to damage, reduce that Deathwing, and that Sylvanas. Plenty of options here. There's Brightwing coming in for Hyde, learning from the Americans, it seems. Coming in. They've been running this a little bit here and there, so it's nice to see it very much pop up in terms of priority. And there's the Rainer to finish this out. So this is a Bruiser Deathwing. Cool to see. Very much a fan. With Rainer on the board. Extra race as well. Lots of single target damage on the line for Team Alexander. Going to be curious about the new Deathwing build as well. We haven't seen him too much since the recent nerfs in the patch before last. So let's see how he shows up here. ReGen now. Final pick. Main tank is required. It's going to be ETC. ETC was definitely probably the highest option left, outside of maybe a Nubarak or Johanna. But ETC, the safest option here. Lots of potential stuns, try and disrupt the enemy team here. And of course, quite a little bit of extra damage. Single target damage on ETC is very solid, and that might help them melt through Deathwing a little bit easier. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be preparing to head in to game number 1 of this best of 5 series. ReGen are starting this series 1-0 up due to the lateness of Team Alexander, but this is still doable. We're talking about Greymane versus 2 Giant Killers. Yeah, there's Leoric's Drain, there's Greymane's Cursed Bullet, and Hanzo actually gets a Giant Slayer talent later levels as well. There's a lot of percentage damage, and of course Alpha Wolf if we want on Greymane 2. There's plenty of different talents that will assist him in burning through Deathwing, which means the value is going to have to come from Diablo here. They're going to have to focus a lot more on the hard engagements and the tanking. For now though, ladies and gentlemen, let's head into game number 1 of our best of 5 series. ReGen. This team on the right, starting 1-0 up due to some issues with Team Alexander being late. Let's introduce the team. We have Hotcho on the ETC, Centurion on the Greymane, Unaverted from Wild Hearts, going to be playing on the Hanzo, Valimar on the Stukov, and we have Porky from Crowd Control, going to be playing on the Leoric. Got a good split here. But from Korea, Team Alexander, Lockdown on the Deathwing. We have Nacho Jin on the Sylvanas, Gondar. Going to be playing on the Diablo this time, not Spell. Spell, TTSST. Usually the tank player, but in this case playing the Rainer on basic skin as well. And we have Hyde, going to be bringing out the Brightwing. Let's get this going. Media poke onto Spell, who plays like a tank and dies like a tank as he walks up to the bush. Gets absolutely bullied. Can they get the counter kill? As Gondar tries to hold, but no, that's a double kill for Centurion. Holding down the line and preventing anyone from passing out that gate. That is the double first kill. Going over to ReGen as they pile on the pressure, looking to get that early lead. Let's have a look at the talents, as that was a very early kill here. Deathwing already down an armor plate to Leoric, who, by the way, has gone for the Consume Vitality. Fastest wave clear talent that he has. Not the best sustain, but it is still effective. A little bit of extra healing for Porky here. We have the Overwhelming Affliction to burn through ETC. Percentage damage on the other side as well. Potentially a very good combo with the newly buffed Mind Control or the buffed Withering Fire at level 20. Rainer, of course, still going with Exterminator. Diablo starting with Soul Shield. Devil's Due, not that valuable here. Could have gone with Feast on Fear. There were quite a few walls, but has decided against it this time. We're seeing the Dragon Soul, old Deathwing build, despite nerfs to it, sticking with the basics. Not going for the new ReGen style with Dragon Breath that seems to have jumped to be quite popular in other divisions and through a couple teams. It's a very solid build, but it kind of relies on Deathwing to sort of be the second damage dealer, as opposed to a bruiser with that particular build. It's a 3-man push that started in the top lane using Black Arrows, leaving only Gondar and Hyde, not the best wave clearers, to clear out this camp in the bot lane. Gondar preventing ports, preventing mounts, trying to stop a D-push of this top lane. Hanzo has already made his way up there, though, as has Valimar, as they try to D-push this lane as fast as they can. However, the XP lead still in favor of ReGen due to that early double kill, as we see a Crowd Surfer coming in for ETC. That is interesting. Crowd Surfer coming in right away. This allows ETC to rotate around the map quite a bit quicker. That 5-second cooldown reduction and mana regen if he doesn't hit any heroes, or any enemies, sorry. This will allow him to rotate quite quickly. It will also allow him to... Oh, be careful, buddy. It's also going to allow him to dive the enemy over walls if he goes for camp engages. It is a solid talent. Does have its place. It's just very weird not to see the loudspeakers to combine with Encore later on. Porky is still trying to bully. Will be punished for it. Here comes Nacho Jin with the focus. Gondar trying to cut off Porky. They don't land the wall stun. Is the overpower going to be in range? It isn't. Porky might just get away here. Nacho Jin not following up there as Pocho comes in for the save. And they just let it go. Instead, they went for the race. They don't win the race. Race right now in favor of ReGen. They push forward. Big stun onto Gondar, preventing the overpower as Unaverted is able to jump away. They move forward. Drain onto Lockdown. You can see that health just evaporating. He heals back quite a bit, but he's already lost the actual armor plate here. But they're still going to try and push forward using the stuns of that Destroyer form as they push forward. Great Koi Pod to zone out, but Diablo. Gondar already dead. Lockdown getting bullied by Stukov here. Big stun onto Porky, though, who will be slain, as well as ETC. Nice dive by Nacho Jin. He gets him. That's going to be the quadruple kill. Going over to Team Alexander as they snipe through everyone in their way. Valimar with the weighted pustule to prevent that from being a full 5-man. But the pressure was there. They were too focused onto Lockdown, who's down to a single armor plate, but they were so focused on killing him that they didn't respect Nacho Jin. Objective taken by Team Alexander, and the big push coming into the bot lane. Right wing, right now, holding out the top lane due to that global potential. Of course, Deathwing will be able to land here and take over that lane in terms of soak, and that will allow Brightwing to TP to bot lane and get the support that team needs. No! They're keeping it swapped. Lockdown comes down here to help push with this. And instead, it's going to be Brightwing still up there. There's the kill onto Nacho Jin, though. Hotcho with the engage. Sylvanas absolutely destroyed. Here comes the drain. Lockdown healing up quite a bit thanks to that Dragon Soul, but he's taking a lot of damage here. The stun is good, but he cannot escape into the silence. Gondar cannot overpower Hotcho to keep him over that wall. That's a good defense. Fort is damaged, but that was a good D-push by ReGen, keeping it together. We have a very standard style Deathwing build, very old style. This is like the original build that really came to popularity. We're going to be seeing ETC still picking up Pinball Wizard, still with a little bit of burst here. It's a willing Vessel coming in for Leo, going to try and give himself more sustain versus the Deathwing. Very cool to see. Quicksilver Bullets for Greymane, keeping himself at range. And Diablo. Full Firestorm build here. Souls for the Flame and Eternal Flames here. Gondar really trying to go for the zoning here. And the damage reduction later. Lockdown tries to chase down Unaverted, but cannot get a big power slide with the Pinball Wizard. Is huge coming out there. And Hot Joe setting his team up for the kill onto Nacho Jin again. Nacho Jin is the key to this game for Alexander as they take down Brightwing as well. Hyde is gone. If ReGen can keep doing this and taking out Nacho Jin, then the damage output and the actual kill potential of Team Alexander is going to be incredibly damaged. ReGen trying to take momentum. Trying to seize it. They only have to win 2 games in this series. They're trying to make the most of it. They're looking for Nacho Jin again this time. The Brightwing comes in for the teleport, for the assist. The phase shift comes in. They look for Unaverted, who makes it over the wall as a squirrel. That was cool to see. We see the Dragon Strike coming in for Unaverted, going for a very similar to Korean style build for the extra zoning and the extra damage output as they survive. Everyone disengages here, but with level 10s on the line, we see it's a mosh pit, but no Apocalypse to counter it. There's the Entomb, Bellowing Roar, Dragon Strike will take out Lockdown, but Gondar is in the backline, going to try and zone it for the rest of the team as they try to push through, trying to take it. Lightning Breath is good, percentage damage, trying to hold it down. Down goes Gondar, Unaverted just escaped. Spell is isolated, Hyde is the only one left. No power left, no kill potential. He will be chased down, and he will be killed. That is a full team wipe coming in from ReGen. ReGen came to play today, and they take the advantage. That was interesting. I'm not entirely sure what the purpose for that was. I'm sure there's a reason. As they do eat the Immortal Stun and burn a medallion for it. Gondar zones away. Needs to get those souls back. Back to 5 already. It's a blink heal. Here comes Lockdown. Zoning away. We already know he's gone for the Bellowing Roar. But yeah, no Apocalypse. Into a mosh pit. Here comes Cataclysm. They're going for it, but Nitrogen is already dead. The Immortal's going over. There's no hope. They're trying to buy time for Reyna, but Reyna cannot get this alone, and Lockdown may have given his life for this. He's going to get the Bellowing Roar, but can he get out? He's got nowhere to go. He's going to get focused. The Scatter Arrow just deletes him. Deathwing is down. As we see the waves being cleaned up. Gondar, the only defense for his team right now. Nacho Jin is back on the way to try and clear. This fort will fall, second fort of the game. Soak trying to be gained by Hyde, desperately trying to find Soak on the map to get his team to that level 13 so that they can contest and so that they can fight again. Entomb on Gondar, it's not looking good. There's the medallion burn though. Gondar sneaks out, he gets it. He's going to take a little bit of damage, but Brightwing comes in with the big heal. She's gone for that phase shift level 1, so the big percentage heal coming in with that hyper shift. Dragon Strike comes in and will completely zone the team out though. Immortal down to half health, Cursed Bullet onto Lockdown, who's still dropping stuns in that Destroyer form. Really trying to get everything he can out here. Sorry, that Worldbreaker form. Worldbreak trying to get those stuns, trying to delay. The keep will live. But right now, ReGen are in full control of this game. Camp being started by Team Alexander. ReGen doing the same, but they're playing a little bit more aggressively. They're grabbing the center camps as opposed to the ones nearest to their lanes. Bottom camp will respawn in 10 seconds. They can try and get to that a little bit later. Their Bruiser available and will be started. They're going to try and get some damage onto Porky. Not enough for a kill yet. Festering Wounds, Overwhelming Affliction. It's all about the kill potential here. No new mind control. It is, of course, still Waning Arrow. With Moshpit on the board, it would be very silly not to. Centurion grabbing that Shaman camp. That's a double camp push in top lane, but that is where Team Alexander are going. That is where their rotation takes them. ReGen, on the other hand, their camp is now spawned. They're in full control of the map, but they're just going to grab it. They know the camp won't get full value, but it denies comeback potential for Team Alexander. They also are trying to soak their way up to level 16 as fast as possible. 15 just around the corner. 1 full level is required. There's that Hellfire. A little bit of spell power for Diablo here, but it's going to be next level. The Debilitating Flames at level 16, where he is going to really pop off. That damage reduction might be what they need. Might be the difference. Yorick, by the way, still went for Ominous Wraith and probably still go for Royal Focus later. So still going for damage reduction. They already have enough damage to kill Deathwing. They don't need to worry about it. Deathwing right now in the sky, by the way. Scatter Arrow scouts out Gondar. Deathwing bringing out the Fire and Fury here. Get that little bit of cooldown reduction. Not going for the automatic cooldown reduction on the Earth Shatter here. Decides against it. Ominous Wraith getting a lot of damage. Porky, he's very fast. There's the stun from Gondar. Dive by Nitrogen. Power Slide comes out. No Mosh Pit being used here. They buy the time. There is the Bellowing Roar. They really want to get Porky here. The Entomb only captures Spell. That is why they've gone for the crowd server here to make sure he gets out. There comes Nitrogen double diving in with the Windrunner. Big silence from Wailing Arrow. They're pushing forward. Team Alexander tries to find it, but they only find Leo. They cannot find a second kill. They begin to work onto the Immortal, but here comes ETC. There's the Medallion's Mosh Pit, but Spell perfectly positioned, and the Cataclysm comes in deep. Gondar is taking so much damage, no one's protecting him. Hyde comes in for the heal, but it's not enough. The damage output of Greymane is too high. Diablo is down. Deathwing is fleeing for his life from ETC up top. Nacho Jin is diving in and out, but he has no mana left. He's trying to escape here. Hyde has given his life. Nacho Jin is in full retreat. Hyde will die. It's up to Spell. He wins the Immortal. Deathwing dies to ETC. It's only Nacho Jin left, but there's the Mounted Heroes trying to chase down. He only demounts Valimar. So Valimar, though, body blocking Centurion here, but it's not enough. Nacho Jin will fall. As we see top keep taken down. They take it down. They don't even go for Giant Slayer in the end. Piercing arrows going to be coming in for the Hanzo. They can't end yet, though. They get the keep, but the spawn timers are too low. We're only 12 minutes in. And ReGen move back to defend. They clear up. The fort goes down. He XP over time for Team Alexander. Their opportunity to try and make a comeback here. Safety dust. A little bit of extra healing this time. Not going for the pixie pet, not going for the extra spell armor. Melee! Thank you for the sub. Very appreciated. Remember, when you sub during Storm Division matches, starters, you're amazing. Can hide, get out. He jukes. He jukes. He's entombed. He's gone. He's out. He gets the blink heal, but the chase is too good. The silence comes out from Stuka. Valimar. Flailing Swipe comes out to isolate everyone from Gondar. There's the Ominous Wraith reducing all the damage output, and Greymane is nowhere to be... Sorry, Deathwing is nowhere to be seen. That's going to be the double kill. Diablo will respawn, though. But when you sub during Storm Division matches, that income goes to the commentator. The commentator gets the income from subs and bit donations during Storm Division matches. So if you want to support me for my work tonight, that is how you can do so. Lockdown, he could use some support, but alas, he's Deathwing. He cannot. He's going to take a drink. Go to the fountain. Bruiser pushing in. Swaps to World Breaker form. All about that zoning right now. All about that long distance wave clear. Piercing arrows plus scatter arrow build, going for the infinite dragon strike star. You can replace one of those talents with the ignore all distractions, but not gonna do that. Not worth the risk. Ignore all distractions only really valuable when you're in the lane anyway. And of course, the serrated arrows here way better on this map for wave clear, and of course, immortal clear. Elementium plating. This will really help Deathwing. Dives forward. Big damage. Trying to focus down Leo. Remove him from the table. Gives Lockdown a lot more freedom. Gondar goes in. Lockdown. Really trying to find the damage output here. And they are doing a good job. Again, if they can play around Leo, they've got a little bit of freedom on this one. They're even talents. 16 to 19, a 3-level lead right now for ReGen. Lockdown takes a lot of damage. Nearly loses his second last armor play. That is a good isolation of the spell. And Hyde is the one who's taken out first. Gets absolutely deleted by Unaverted. Scatter arrow in the corner. There's the Cataclysm. Dragon Strike all the way through. Isolate spell out. Lockdown with Elementium plating. Moshpit is interrupted, but it's too much. They are taken out, leaving just Lockdown to defend, but he will not be defending the base. He is going to be chased down by Porky. The Immortal is abandoned as the core will be chased down by ReGen to claim. Deathwing does make it to the sky. Does he have Bellowing Roar? Maybe? Doesn't say. He could maybe land a Bellowing Roar, but I think he's probably still too late. That is going to be game number 1. Going over to ReGen, making it so that this series is currently 2-0. We're just going to call this game number 2 for the sake of convenience. Deathwing not even able to land in time. Game number 2 goes over to ReGen, making this a 2-0 in this best of 5 right now in favor of ReGen. Well played by ReGen so far, putting themselves in that early lead, 1 game away from taking the series and moving on to the next round. Nacho Jin was the target. You can really see that in the damage output. Over double spell on that Reyna, and almost as much as Hanzo was able to do in that entire match. Almost as much as Hanzo and Greymane, sorry, those two are basically equal. And that was in a losing game where he died 6 times. They knew Nacho Jin would be the target, and they prioritized and isolated him beautifully in the early game, preventing a XP lead, allowing ReGen to take momentum. And by the time they had the XP lead, ReGen were able to capitalize on Deathwing, making the most of their significantly better Deathwing killing draft. And the lack of protection for that Deathwing on the side of Team Alexander, they capitalized. Made very good use of it. Very well played. Great use of Ominous Wraith, by the way, from Porky. Absolutely insane. Big shout out for that. 5 kills to 25. With that, ReGen 2-0 in this best of 5. 1 game away. Excuse me, from taking this series. We already have a lobby. So we will come back to me, ladies and gentlemen. Feels good. Hope you're all enjoying your night so far. Okay, we have Alex wanting first pick here. So this is the map choice of ReGen again. Okay. Alrighty, let's show you where we're going for the map, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look. We are going to be heading via the choice of ReGen, due to Team Alexander opting for first pick. They have ReGen have opted to take us to Hanamura. This will be the location of game number 2. Game number 3, we're calling it, I guess. That is how it be. Hang on, I'm going to see if I can tidy this up. Is there a blank I can pick? There is not. I would have to reset. Which I guess I can do. Hang on, I'm going to tidy this up quickly. So we're just going to go reset. Which unfortunately does delete the scores, but I have to fix that. But I'm going to tidy this up, because there is a forfeit in here, so we can make that happen. So we have we'll just put a win there, and there we go. We can make it look good like that. So BOE picked 1, and Hanamura picked, and then our bands. Oh, it kept the maps. It kept the scores. That's good. That's very appreciated. Alrighty. And then we had ReGen banned out Cursed and Dragon. Excuse me. And Team Alexander banned out Braxis and Infernal. Braxis. No, not Garden. Infernal. There we go. Alrighty. There we go. That looks tidier. Feels good. Alrighty. Much better. That looks way, way better. Super a fan of that. Just going to let them know cast R. So whenever they're ready, I am ready. Once again, everyone, if you are enjoying the games today, Warhead, please, not in the map pool, but I wish. New Warhead. Sounds like a really good change they made. I'm actually pretty happy. I was surprised. Honestly, these patch notes are kind of on the money. I was quite surprised how good they were. But, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting ready to head into the game very quickly. But for now, if you are enjoying, once again, head out exclamation point Matcha Reno in chat. And that will allow you to donate to the prize pool for Storm Division. We are over $1,500 right now. And I have it on, and I believe that for starters, we can hit 2,000 before the end of the season. That won't surprise me at all if we can do that. I think we can hit 2,000. But I also think if we get Season 2 of Storm Div, we can do it even more next season. So we are going to have a lovely time here today as we are already starting with our bands. Let's get this going. We have the Garrosh band out again. It's very scary. If you're also enjoying all the wonderful work that Nexus Gaming Series have been doing, maybe check them out on Patreon. I believe it is Nexus Gaming Series Heroes on Patreon, so you can support all the work done behind the scenes. And of course, if you like what I'm doing today, if you like my dulcet tones, then maybe consider dropping a subscription to the Nexus Gaming Series channel or a bit donation while I am casting this game tonight. When you donate bits or subscribe during Storm Division games, that income goes to the commentator who is commentating during those times. So any support you have is very appreciated in this wonderful holiday season, so that I can afford to get presents for my family and the ones I love, and also afford, you know, my horrible habits of eating and shelter that I have yet to break, because I need those. I kind of need those to live. Horrible habit, haven't broken them yet, but we will do. Cassia was banned out this time quite early on. I believe that was the same as last time, and so far, draft is very similar from the side of ReGen, but Team Alexander's flipping it up. This time they got the Lucio. They got it early this time to prevent it being banned away by ReGen. And the Mal'Ganis coming in for Spell. Castle going to get banned out. He didn't get nerfed, but he's still very good. Lots of CC, and it's a good map for him. But yeah, Mal'Ganis also got some buffs recently. And I'm curious to see how effective these are. And Gondar, he's on that Sylvanas. They might stick him back on the, yeah, I think they're going to leave Gondar on the Sylvanas this time and have Nacho Jim go back to the off lane. Yeah, Mal'Ganis received some buffs recently. Let's see if he's able to hang with the best. They ban ETC this time, leaving Diablo up. Let's see if this works out for him. ReGen now. They win this game, they win the series, and they will move on to round 2 of the lower bracket. They're on their last chance here. Can they earn their way back? What do you got for us, ReGen? Hanzo again, and Muradin. So far, the exact same draft, but swapping ETC as he was removed for Muradin, what was banned out by Team Alexander last time. Is this a mistake? We will see. Have Team Alexander given ReGen that secret weapon they might have needed? Alexander now. What do we see from them? Li Ming and Imperius coming in here. I love this. So Imperius going to very much fill in the gaps they had in their composition with a Mal'Ganis. Mal'Ganis has a lot of disruption and a reasonable good hard engage with the sleep, but he lacks a consistent hard engage. Imperius adds this. There will likely be an Imperius in the off lane, but we have seen some teams swap it round so that the main tank player goes to the off lane, and the Imperius rotates with the 4-man. They've got Li Ming for burst. And yeah, exact same draft from ReGen. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So they bust out the Leoric again. Exactly the same, except for Muradin swapped for ETC. Let's see if it works out in their favor. Is this a better prepared draft? We will see. As ladies and gentlemen, we are preparing to load on in to game number 3. Second game we've played. Third game, technically in terms of score, due to, once again, the free win awarded to ReGen due to Team Alexander not showing up on time. Well then, we're going to be getting ready to jump into the series. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be it for Team Alexander. Will they be eliminated from the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division? Or will they be able to bring themselves back to the series? They have to fully reverse sweep. Can they do it? Or will this team stop them? ReGen on the right of Hanamura, Centurion on the Greymane, Hutcho on Muradin, Porky on Hanzo this time. A bit of a role swap here. Valimar on the Stukov, and Unaverted playing the Leoric. Whereas on the left, Team Alexander with Nacho Jin going to be playing on the Imperius. We have Hyde on his Lucio. Gondar this time gets to play Sylve. Spell, TTSST, on the Mal'Ganis. And Lockdown is busting out the Li Ming. Let's get this going. Level 1 talents. We are seeing Imperius heading up to the top lane, so Mal'Ganis will be rolling with the team. Winged Guard, physical armor, block stacks basically, being applied to Mal'Ganis here. And it's a charge. It's a charge Imperius. Big sleep, multiple members. Imperius, in fact, rotated down here. Stun onto Hotcho, but they don't have the follow-up. But do they have the damage? Yes, they do. They didn't have the spear, but they did have the damage. Lockdown, though, he didn't make his blink, and it's a double kill of response from ReGen as they grab the second kills. They're focused down. Good counter kill. Porky and Centurion, just so scary. The aggro they went to look for that first blood kill was punished. Nacho Jin did make it back up to top lane, though. We lost quite a bit of tower health, though, as Unaverted cleaned up fast. He is also, once again, going for Consume Vitality. Talent I've been a huge fan of for a while. It gives such good wave clearing, really good sustain when you get multiple frontliners. Sentinel picked up by ReGen. Same for Team Alexander, a little slower, though. No tank support. Mercenaries on this map give huge XP boosts. Farming them can be very beneficial to quick XP gain. You need to pay attention to minions as well, though. The minions are worth a lot. The camp rotation, quite a bit faster for ReGen here. Turret camp not even started by the side of Team Alexander as they move in to try and start defending that Sentinel, defending that Genji as people called it. The Unaverted focused down, focused by Lockdown. The Drain Hope comes out. Missiles, auto, the Drain Hope is good. Boom, doesn't land. Here's Gondar, though, and that will guarantee the kill. Sentinel, though, left free, gets quite a few hits onto the gate now. It might get one swing, but it's baited by Hyde. Nicely done. This is why you kind of have to defend these things from in lane if you want minimal damage done to your buildings. ReGen crushing their way in. Going to try and smash their way through an extra tower. Again, just trying to extend their lead. That double kill. It's under capitalized on it. It's 2-2 now. But already a little shaky. ReGen much faster, but they have run out of things to do. So they're using that time to try and hunt Hyde. Despite the 200 ping, out-juking Hotcho there. Hotcho over Stormbolt build, Sledgehammer, and Perfect Storm, the go-to build these days for the majority of pro players. Lockdown has to escape, has gone for Triumphate. And we have Might of Sargeras here. Extra armor coming in for the Mal'Ganis. Really going all in on that self-sustain. Nacho Jin going to be the one to hold this. Hotcho. Waiting in position. Spell. Trying to buy time on Porky. The team's very split here. Porky tries to get out over the wall. Hyde's going to chase it down. It's not enough. Porky continues to assist his team with Scatter Arrow. Gondar is now very far up. Drops the turret, which will actually block the Stormbolt from Hotcho as they use that to turn around. And it looks like they will get Hotcho with Hyde. There's the great Celestial Charge from Nacho Jin as they finally get Greymane as well. And Team Alexander pick up the double kill of their own now. Take a lead and move their way up to try and roll in the first control point. Get on, little carts, as they push it in. Mal'Ganis pulls back, though. Valimar still trying to put the pressure on. Trying to bully. Not enough yet. Only one person. Only one person on the payload right now. No one else supporting it, meaning it is very slow, but it's not going to be contested. Instead, the Sentinels, once again, being matched by both teams. Again, slower by Team Alexander. They have less people on it this time, but overall, this time, they get more value. Need to be very careful, though. Lockdown very far up here. He's out of position. Has the medallion. Dodges the Stormbolt. Here comes unaverted, though. Numbers hugely in favor of ReGen right now as they're trying to make the play. But Hotcho is the one who finds himself out of position here. The orb is protected beautifully by Lockdown, who will get the first kill of this fight. Gondar is low, but he's surviving. It's speed right now being used by Hyde, keeping the team mobile so that they are unpredictable. No healing coming out at all. Spell tries to sleep his way out of danger, but the turret that was dropped does not sleep. It is a cold-hearted machine, and it gets the counter kill, making that a 1-for-1, tank for tank. Gonna see the Sentinel focus down and kill the entire front wall. Bottom Sentinel gets a tower and the gate. Not able to get the second tower. Again, the slightly quicker rotations from ReGen showing up, but Team Alexander still a little bit ahead in terms of XP. They're managing to hold themselves pretty nicely here. Anyone? There we go. Hyde and Lockdown competing over that one. Level 7 talents available for both teams. We see the Will of Tichondrius. Percentage damage for Spell. Help him out with a little bit of a race. Gondar with overwhelming affliction. Not Hotcho. This can't be stolen. It was cleared by ReGen, but it's gonna be Team Alexander with the race. Hotcho resets for Lockdown, who did go Calamity as they look for the second kill. The camp was taken. Porky over the wall. They get stuck off. Wailing arrow into the dagger is not enough. Hyde, Hyde, Hyde. You can run, but you can hide. He got away. Porky got away. He can run and he can hide. Porky gets out unaverted with the zoning there, but with black arrows, they will claim themselves the first fort of the game. Team Alexander back in this, using their level 10s to their advantage for the quick rush down fight. We of course have the angelic armaments. We have Carrion Swarm, Sound Barrier, Wave of Force. Used there for the resets, and Gondar going very deep. We've already seen his Wailing Arrow. One tower hit. He's so low. 13 health. Unaverted comes in for the kill. Will he perish for it? Has he bitten off more than he can chew? No. It's just an overextension. My Team Alexander, Hyde, escaping the Entomb there. Gets out. Spell has been the one solo laning right now versus Centurion. Okay, that's not the worst solo laner in the world. Not the best. Nacho Jin comes in. They're looking for it. Trying to juke. Spear is sidestepped. The stun is sidestepped. Centurion is taking them all over the place. Tries to bounce back through. get back to his team. Dragon Arrow, stun. Centurion dodges the Celestial Charge. Again, this time stunned by spell, but they are outnumbered. He bought enough time, and Centurion is just dancing around him now. Absolutely outplayed. Sentinel being taken. Already taken up in the top lane for ReGen, which means big danger for this fort. Objective, payload already started. Rolling in for Hotcho. Looks like it will be ignored here as they look for Porky. If they get kills, they have more freedom. Good in Tomb. Lockdown. Dive quite a bit deeper. He's looking for the kill to get that reset, get that damage, but instead he is delivered to Centurion. There's the rush. Speed from Hyde. Gets Lockdown out of there. He can continue to siege with Triumvirate now. No deaths in this fight. Mal'Ganis isn't in this fight. This is a 4v5 in favor of ReGen. Mal'Ganis is sitting on the payload right now, trying to sneak it in. Dr. Down, focus down. Sound barrier too late. Big stun onto Hyde. Here comes Spell to try and get everyone else out of there. Hyde healing up now. Getting them in. Multi-man sleep, unaverted. One reset. They look for more, but they can't find Valimar. Hotcho's already avatared out. Good sidestep again by Lockdown to dodge that Storm Bolt. Here come the Bats. Centurion tries to pick up a kill. The Dragon Strike came out. Dragon Arrow, Porky, putting up quite a performance. There's the reset, but Porky, enough damage to kill off Gondar here. It's support and assassin versus tank and assassin. Look for Valimar. Leoric is back though, and that will be this fight over. Easily going over to ReGen as unaverted will entomb Lockdown, got him right on the edge, and that will guarantee the full team wipe. Imperius is already back, but they're able to get themselves a vision camp, a turret, and eventually the payload. As ReGen back and forth between these two teams. Support their efforts. Go to ! Macho Reno in chat. And support the prize pool for these two teams. And support me so that I don't starve to death this holiday season. By donating subscriptions or bit donations to me, your casty boy. Payload. Triggered a little bit. Camp is tickled. And Team Alexander keep their eyes on it. It's Cold Embrace, by the way. More single target focused for Sylvanas this time. Picking that up. Spell a little bit far forward. Gonna sleep. Gets both the frontliners. Hotcho's focused down. There's enough. Phoenix Wipe. Dragon Arrow is good, but they still get Hotcho. And now Leoric is in a little bit of trouble, but he Ominous rapes absolutely everyone. Sound barrier does land, but it does not catch Lee. It does not catch Lee Big. There's the sleep once again onto the frontline. Spell trying to tank through. The damage coming out from Gondar. And it is enough. Lockdown was sniped earlier on in that fight, but they still had enough with the early 2 kills they were able to receive. And the payload turns around again, ladies and gentlemen. Li Ming will be back in 9 seconds. Muradin in 2. It's a Genji steal attempt as the Sentinel will be raced down. Gondar needs some healing. Hyde will deliver very slowly. Invade. Muradin is here. Centurion is here. Are they going to contest it? No. They're still down 1 member. They could have tried to delay for unaverted, but it was risky. They decide against it. The Sentinel will be cleaned before it gets anything, though. But it's prevented push value for ReGen. Team Alexander removing tools here. Deep Sleep. Potentially combinable with the Sleep talent on the upgrade for Carrion Swarm at level 20 to give incredible backline disruption. Unfettered Assault here. Great chase potential. Hotcho backs away. Cocktail drops Lockdown a little low. Lucio will heal up. They find Porky. Not a stun in range yet, though. There is Piercing Arrow. Orbs try and zone. Hotcho. And unaverted, looking very deep. Lockdown in the entomb is able to teleport away from it. Hyde is not in the right spot here. He's taking quite a lot of damage. Good sleep on 2 backliners here from Spell. This will buy them so much time. There's a good Celestial Charge. They're looking for Stukov, but Dragon Arrow catches both the backliners. Lockdown being forced to teleport away. Carrion Swarm coming in to try and buy them some time. Another Celestial Charge, but it's interrupted on Centurion. Only gets a short duration due to Skullcracker. Spell, sleep, 1. It's interrupted by the Lurking Arm. Spell is forced to be taken out due to the incredible chase down. The Lurking Arm preventing the sleep. They're still going to try and push it in. They're trying to zone. Lockdown is low. Gondar trying to hold, but Hotcho makes it well to the point. They're going to find a man down. Hyde is gone. There goes Nacho Jin. Gondar is low. He tries to get out, tries to bait. Lockdown, the only one left. As ReGen, again, looking to try and claim victory. Lockdown tries to get Porky. He will. That buys him some time. There's a great wave of force. He jukes one, but the slow is too good. Unaverted picks it up, making that a full 5-man. Turret available. Not grabbed by Hotcho. There we go. And they slowly begin to turn around the payload again. Spell back alive again. And begin to make their way in. Level 16 has gone for Plague Bats. A little bit of extra damage there. Holding it together. Unaverted backs out. They push forward. Looking for Centurion. Trying to chase him down. Centurion, good celestial charge, but it doesn't land. Centurion sidestepping beautifully here with level 16 talents on the board. Will of the Forsaken going to be huge here. Spell drained away again. Unaverted just going to port back. Is this going to be a full port? It is. Lockdown, try to interrupt it. A little too slow. Up the frequency for Lucio. Healing cooldown reduction. We have the Super Strain. That's going to be huge for Stukov. Such a massive boost to sustain. Sentinel already taken by ReGen, and they are moving across the map this time. They're not going to go for the camp, though. They don't go for the steal. 5v5, 17 to 18 right now. Lockdown already being drained. Ominous Wraith catching basically everyone except for Spell and Hyde. Two of the lowest damage members on the team, but they still go deep. Nacho Jin lands a 2-man spear, but it's interrupted by Valamar with the flaming swipe. They push forward, unaverted. Side, gets into the back line. Can he find it? Great silence, but it's cancelled a bit early. Dragon Arrow is interrupted. Spell not able to get the bats off, but they're looking for Hotcho, who gets the Avatar off, even though he's sleeping. Nacho Jin retreats as the turrets are melting through Team Alexander. We see Hyde trying to buy time as they chase down Porky, but we already see Lockdown taken out. Bass to delay. They're able to get Porky here, but Spell is very, very alone. Hyde comes in, speed boost. Nacho Jin! 2-man stun! There's Gondar with the kills! They look for Valamar. Spell, sleep for unaverted. It's cleansed out. He can't find Valamar. The turret is melting through them, but we see the turnaround for unaverted. Gondar goes deep as they chase down unaverted. They'll finally get him. He's so freaking tanky! They take him out, but ReGen are slain. The Sentinel has made its way to core. They're gonna push in. They are ignoring the payload, and they're going for the core. It's just Stukov. Team Alexander look to take this to a game number 3 as they rush it down. A game number 4, I can bloody count. Root, nicely done by Valamar, buys time, but they are rushing it here. 7 seconds for Hanzo. Hanzo is going to have to be the saving grace here, waiting past on to multiple members. Spell is low, hit point pool not high here. Hanzo, what can you do? Dragon Arrow, 4 members, but it's going to be too late. Game number 3 goes over to Team Alexander, and we have a series on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Nicely done by Team Alexander. We are going to what is technically a 3rd map, but is technically our 4th game as Team Alexander win themselves back into this. ReGen still 1 game away from claiming full victory. But Team Alexander, they're back. Lockdown putting on a great performance on that Li Ming. 57,000 damage, some really good predictions. But that final fight, it's all on Nacho Jin. Excuse me. Nacho Jin with the Celestial Charge. Multi-man stun. Set it up and smashed everyone in their way to set up for that Sylvanas multi-kill. Really, really impressive stuff there, but ReGen took him right to the brink. That fight had gone the other way, ReGen would have tried to end there. Great performance. Already incredible play from both these teams. ReGen looking a little stronger in the early games, though. They are in a position where they might be able to try and claim victory if they can just find their opportunity in what will be game number 4. We already have a lobby, so we'll come back to me. Wasn't able to show you the talents, and I apologize about that. Teams are being too fast today. Nacho Jin, dude. He's scary. He real scary. Bloody good player. And showing it. Excuse me. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting ready. Lobby is already up. We're getting everyone into what will be our next map. Alright, who picked this? No one is telling me. Hopefully someone will inform me as such as to what that may be. Alright. Come on, change the map for... Oops, wrong map. I always do that. I always get those two mixed up. Come on, tell me. Who is it? Show me something that isn't coin toss. And we'll be good. Excuse me. Once again, everybody, if you are enjoying the games tonight, please donate some bits, subscribe, help me afford to eat. That's always welcome. Show your support for these players by hitting !match arena in chat and donating to the prize pool. Let's have a look there and see if we've grown above the 1.5k that I saw it was last time. Match arena. We're at 1.5k. I think we can get to 2k. I believe we can get to 2k, ladies and gentlemen. So if anyone wants to donate, I will be reading out just everyone's... I will be reading out any messages left by anyone who donates. So always welcome. You don't have too many. The last message was a $5 donation from Joshua, who said kick his ass, Seabass, which is brilliant. So if you want to donate and support the players, that's how you can do it. But again, if you want to support me or any caster casting Storm Division, whether a caster is casting Storm Division, any subs or bit donations go to that caster. So if you want to help me afford food and also cheer me up, quite frankly, the love of my life, the person who I love and will absolutely marry someday, had to go back to America today, leaving me alone. And I am very, very sad about it. I was crying most of earlier today. So, any kindness is appreciated. If you don't have anything to spare, send a smiley face tweet. I'm at Tetra on Twitter. It would be appreciated. Any moral cheering up and support is very appreciated. All right, players are ready. Caster R. And I believe we're good to go. Oh, hang on. Set to coin toss at the mo. Okay, they started it. Which means we're probably going to remake the lobby, but you heard what the map is. So I'll show you what the map is while they fix it. Unless this is right. I assume this is right. And they're just going to leave it, and they got lucky. I'm going to assume they're just going to leave it and got lucky. Let's see. We're waiting for players, actually. Maybe they did reset it. Nope, we're off. Alrighty. So, by the looks of it, ReGen have opted for first pick. Surprise, surprise. Meaning that this will be Team Alexander's map choice. Vitruvius, thank you very much for the sub with your Twitch Prime. Very appreciated as we have our draft beginning. JC coming... Should have stayed in the UK. I would have absolutely kept her. I would have absolutely let her live here. Would have been amazing. I say let her. She can do what she wants. She's more powerful than me. She could beat me up easy. Doing a fantastic job casting today. Thank you, D Nasty. It is appreciated. We see Gazlo bad early this time, as is Junkrat. ReGen removing a lot of those early and great tools that we've seen Team Alexander so proficient on. So they're removing a lot of lockdown heroes, especially. I'm a Nacho Jin hero. I miss watching you and the other guys casting HGC. Appreciated, D-Nasty. I miss it too. It was a good time. But alas, the time has gone. Oh, speaking of which, Stardust Chromie first pick for ReGen. But speaking of which, I don't know if you guys saw, but this is a little bit ago, it's a couple weeks ago, Skibby, HGC boy for ANZ and also Western Clash BlizzCon, one of the best casters heroes ever had. He started casting the ANZ region for League, and he just had the exact same thing happen to him, where the ANZ region got shut down. He's had double job cancellations, where the League's gone down, where he's been in it. He's the unluckiest boy. Send him love. Follow him on Twitter so you see what he's doing next. You can show him all the support, because that is shit. I'm sorry, bro. Cassia was let through the draft this time, meaning Team Alexander going to pick that up for free. Although they did give Chromie away for it. And Malthael, very early pick this time. It's a good hero, but Malthael without seeing your opposite laner is a surprise early draft coming in here for Team Alexander. Greymane going to be banned out for Team Alexander. It's been pretty decent from ReGen, so yeah, ban out that Centurion Greymane, although Centurion looks like it's going to be the one playing the Chromie this time, unless they swap, obviously. Diablo going to be removed. Diablo to Johanna, very reasonable matchup for Diablo. Just wait for that Iron Skin to go, and then just kill her 5-head. See if it's enough. Let's see what we get for Team Alexander. They get Muradin and Deathwing again. Oh, that's why they picked Malthael so early. Cheeky lads. Swing, thank you for the 69 bits. Feels good. But that's why they picked Malthael early. Cheeky chaps! They wanted the Deathwing second damage dealer, what I was talking about earlier. This will likely be a healing at level 1, a self-regeneration at level 1, Dragon Molten Breath build. But that ain't gonna stop ReGen just picking Leoric again, and this time they got Tychus. No Hanzo this time. No Greymane this time. It's about that Tychus. What is Team Alexander's reply to this? They still need a healer. What do they pick? Anduin. I was in my head was just yelling at me, pick Lily, pick Lily, pick Lily, pick Lily, and my actual brain inside my skull, because it was my skull saying Lily, my brain has said, nope, bad idea. You wouldn't have enough damage healing to deal with Chromie. So, Anduin is the choice. Let's see if it's enough. Team Alexander, can they continue the reverse sweep? Excuse me. Or will ReGen be able to shut them down and make their way into the next round? Here is the table so that you know what these teams are fighting for. Again, winner of this will go on to play against either VGM Gaming or Velocity. I believe that game happens in about 4 days, 3 days. Soon, Crushinator will be casting that. And the winner of that will go on to play against either Chili Mountain or Exodia. Excuse me. Tough matchup. Let's see if they can do it as we are heading in, ladies and gentlemen, to game number 4. For those watching on YouTube who might have been confused and skipped ahead, ReGen started this series 1-0 up due to Team Alexander arriving late. As such, Team Alexander had an uphill climb, especially after ReGen took the first actual map we played, but Team Alexander were able to win it back in map number 3 and in game number 3, and now we're into game number 4. ReGen on the left. Damn it. Team Alexander on the left with Spell on Muradin. Lockdown on Deathwing. Gondar playing Cassia. Hyde going to be on the Anduin, and Nacho Jin bringing out the Malthael. And ReGen are on the right here. Unaverted on the Tychus. Porky bringing out the Leoric. Hotcho on Johanna. Valimar on Stukov. And Centurion is bringing out the Chromie. Very early brawl. Not enough. Lockdown. Already 2 plates down, though. Dragon versus Dragon, and this dragon here is winning. Centurion really bullying out Deathwing at this stage. Let's have a look at level 1s. We're going to be seeing a Draconic Might coming in here. Now, this isn't necessarily wrong. It's not what I predicted, but it isn't necessarily wrong. This is honestly going to be pretty reasonable against Chromie. We'll protect Lockdown a little bit here. It's not the full... It can still be a full Molten Breath build. The build is not broken. It is not wrong here. It's just unexpected. He can still make it work. Porky going to try and bully Lockdown out of lane. Good juke with the world's biggest hitbox. So we see Bruiser Camps being taken very early here. Going to be seeing the focus. Nacho Jin taking the Bruiser Camp here. Same on the other side, a little slower. We have the charge strikes. We have third wind. Again, we've already talked about this. This will actually help him in the 1v1s a little later. You can see. Oh, Valimar gets out. If that Death Curtain had landed, would have been good, but instead ReGen tries to start the camp, but he's scouted by Porky, forced to back away here. It's a new quarterback, by the way. Increased 20% increased damage and 50% increased range. Very cool here. Lots of extra poke. Lockdown comes back in. Still down a plate, though. They keep the pressure on. We see Fear the Reaper. We've already talked about charge strikes. Level 4's coming in. Neil Peasants, Leoric. Fantastic wave clear on this map. Good, not really a trap, but just rotation interruption set by ReGen. New and improved throwing shade. Feels good. 2% damage to non-structure enemies. It's going to allow ReGen so much more sustain in lane. It's really solid here. Big they are coming in for Tychus. Porky clearing out the lane a little safely, but still at a little bit of risk. Muradin finally coming down, and they go for the double soak Deathwing. Both of these teams rotating very quickly. Neither one really giving any angle. There's that Infernus. So yeah, it's the same build I was talking about earlier, but instead of going for the health regen, they've gone for the anti-Chromie talent. Both still work. It makes equally as much sense here. Sledgehammer still coming in despite no level 1 Storm Bolt. Perfect Storm. And with the Inner Fire here. Extra 50% attack range keeps him very safe here. Tychus making the most the bigger they are, burning through several members here as Hyde. It's a little bit of damage from Hotcho. They're actually going to try and turn on to Hotcho. Medallion has to be burned as they try and race it down. Valimar going to try and body block away, but Spell went in for the engage, forced to be pulled out. Leap of Faith with the save and lockdown with a multi-man stun to buy them the escape time. Both teams holding it together for the moment. Centurion continues to bully. Lockdown taking so much damage here. The power of Chromie really working out here. A proper greeting. Not going to affect Deathwing, but it will affect everyone else. This is going to be a Slowing Sands build by the looks of it. Centurion gets their gems in. Gondor doing the best they can damage-wise. Fend! Deathwing lands on Valimar for the kill. But again, it's still low. Was not in the air for long at all. Loses that last armor plate and forced to retreat. Kill on Chromie. On the way out as well as Team Alexander get the first 2 kills of the game. Begin to capitalize on it. They're going to look for their turn-ins now. We're going to see a massacre coming in here. This might be, with throwing shade, that extra range. I think this might be a Tormented Souls game. And I think that would be a really good idea. Tychus is going to be very much a pain, and Chromie's going to be a pain to get to in the backline. Malthael getting to them would give them a lot of fun. However, they could still get some pretty solid value out of Last Rites here if they chose to do it. Last Rites to kill Chromie would be decent, but of course, Time Out will be available later. ReGen looking to bully, really outlaning Porky here. Even without that die alone. Gondor keeps the pressure on. Looking for his angle. Deathwing lands up top. Going to be seeing the heavy impact for Muradin. Little bits of slows for the team. Dives forward. Iron Skin denies the hard engage. Webweaver's pushing in, but right now lanes are being cleared very effectively by the looks of it. ReGen, of course, didn't have that much actual structure damage here. Deathwing has landed in, has catapulted over the wall to make it in here slow onto Valimar, who is sniped by the Molten Breath. But Deathwing is low, takes 2 tower hits, but he's in full retreat, will get away. And then Hyde blocks the damage from Chromie, keeping Lockdown alive as they get the triple kill. As in the meantime, ReGen won the 1v1 in bot lane, killing off Porky. Team Alexander, 5 kills to 0 right now. They are dominating this early stage of the game. Lockdown back to the sky. Slowing Sands already available. We also have Subdue on the line. Melting Point. Love this talent. Going to be seeing great wave clear potential coming in from Tychus. With the increased grenade, that 50%, that 20% damage increase, 50% increased range, and the damage over time for wave clear. Of course, minions, mercenaries, and monsters. So good for clearing out on this map. Very solid. Gondor scouted the Bruiser, seeing it's not being done. Here's level 10 for Team Alexander a little bit earlier. Deathwing already arriving here. Gondor really looking for his angle. Sly Bomb. It is Tormented Souls, as we predicted. Valkyrie, Bellowing Roar, and Avatar. Gondor backs away, playing it safe. They're going to try and grab Porky here. Spell in position. Gonna take some tower hits. Doesn't predict right. Good sidestep by Porky. They still go quite deep. But no Tormented Souls. Means no kill. Spell has to drop Avatar anyway. Just unaverted, chasing very deep. Good in Tomb. Leap of Faith and Avatar burn there. That's a big double cooldown. It's unfortunate for Team Alexander. Going to prevent them fighting for quite a while. Especially as ReGen now have their own level 10s. We already saw the Entomb. We've seen Slowing Sands. Blessed Shield, Commandeer Odin, and Massive Shove. Hyde doing as much damage as they can to Porky, which isn't much. It's Anduin. Went for their Blessed Recovery, by the way. A little bit of extra healing. They stay alive, keeping it safe. Gondar cleaning up. Needs to be careful. Entomb is already back up. Could be engaged on it any second. There's no damage dealers down here yet. Tychus is nearby, but it's not worth the full chase yet. Chromie gets her level 11 talent. Going to be going for that timeout, of course. Spell focused in. Dwarf tosses away. No Entomb. Entomb can be used here, though. They try to get Anduin. Slowing Sands. And the lurking arm. No way out. Massive shove. Short range. Hits Gondar into a wall, who will be focused. There's the bellowing roar. But Gondar is getting chased. Good slow, though, from Spell with a heavy impact. And Gondar is somehow alive. Unbelievable. Finally going to get killed off by the Sands from the Dragon Breath of Krobi. In the meantime, Nacho Jin in the backline was able to do some good damage with that Tormented Souls, but not even close to enough. As Lockdown comes in to try and help out, he'll get the gems, but loses more plates and is forced to back away. The engage from ReGen, beautifully done. Coming in for the kills underneath the gate of Team Alexander. Will Spell interrupt? He will. Buys them some time. Lockdown also delaying. In the meantime, though, Chromie turning up top gets rid of 17 gems. Lockdown going to turn in his 31. They abandoned the point to try and turn in top, and Spell with a delay means that Alexander get the turn in here. There's the stun, though. Avatar, Leap of Faith, and right into the Entomb. There is the Dwarf Toss. Gondar stays alive, though. They're still going to try and get it. Third Wind is active. Spell healing up. He's already available to come back into the fight. Stuns out Hotcho. They look for it. They find Valkyrie, but they only hit Hotcho again. There's the slow from Spell, diving deep onto Unaverted. Tormented Souls into the backline. He's going to try and take out Unaverted, and they get it. Picking up the kill onto that Tychus this time. Porky, he drains away at the Lockdown. But the kill is acquired. Nicely done there. Able to find their angle. Deathwing's getting even scarier here. Has gone for Death Drop. Going Spell Power Reduction here. Spell Armor Reduction here. Pretty smart. When you're with a Malthael, you can drop on top of the Malthael targets, drop on top of multiple members of the enemy team. That plus Tormented Souls is a lot of damage. Dragon Breath for clear. Spell trying to focus down Valimar. The Slowing Sands is too good, though. They are all going to die here. No, Spell will get out, in fact. But Cassia gets deleted there. Unlucky for Gondar. Taken away. Nacho Gem makes his way down. Lockdown has already returned to the sky, where he is safe. Nacho Jin preparing for the camp that respawns as level 13's on the board. We see the Enchant Boots Lion speed here, a little bit of extra burst healing. The Wicked Inferno is Conflagration. That is going to be the big important talent as this game goes on, though. Bronzebeard Rage, the go-to these days. And we see the inevitable End getting a little bit of extra cleansing for Malthael. Will it be enough? Camp is taken on the other side. Roar. Roar plus Subdue means a lot of CC for Johanna. She wants to be stuck in there. But since exposed, it's high damage output. Neo Steel Coating makes sense. Armor reduction for Deathwing. They're just going to try and kill off Unaverted here, who is too far forward, and they just get him. That's an overextension. Punished. Get wrecked. We see the focus. Cataclysm. They're actually going to try and make something out of this. Lockdown looks for Hotcho. Porky. Focused Porky in Ominous Wraith form. Damage reduction. They really want Hotcho. Chromie, Centurion sieging in, but the body blocks are too good. You can't iron skin my face. As they take out Chromie as well with the dive from Gondar with Fend. They pick up the kills. They take out the front wall. Gems still available for ReGen, though. Plenty of gems available. Lyric with 37 gems right now. But Boss will be started for Team Alexander. They now also have enough gems for a turn-in. They can go for the double here. Reminder, everyone, if you're enjoying the show, please subscribe or donate so I can afford Christmas presents and to be able to eat. Hyde backs up. Not going to get stunned by the boss. Deathwing. Lockdown. Denying Porky right now, just being annoying. Even stares him down. Spell's going to come down as well. If they can stop Porky from turning in, they have a double turn in for themselves. Entomb that has not been cancelled. They just trap Valimar there and leave him. Boss is coming in. Now, the question is, can Alexander turn in? They could get the double for this. Double value. 28 gems onto Deathwing. 10 on Nacho Jin. 13 on Hyde. Everyone has to turn in, including Spell. They dive deep. And for Valimar, the medallion lasts long enough to avoid the Storm Bolt. The Orc falls to retreat. Right now, Chromie, Centurion, and Unaverted taking out the boss here. We see Mortality. Such a good talent when combined with Massacre and Tormented Souls. Camp's being taken. And they will get the turn in. Little slow. Not going to get the boss value with it, but it's still consistent pressure. They now have Conflagration, Martial Law, Inner Focus. And of course, Dwarf Launch. Meridian wants to get stuck in and have an escape route. Roll Focus going to be big for Leo here. Shifting Sands for Chromie. Spell Power Boost going to be so deadly. Fanaticism for Johanna. And Titan Grenade, baby. It's full grenade build. Yeah, that cooldown reduction and percentage damage from Tychus. Still weird to me that he didn't go for oh, Bless Shield, hang on, coming out. There's the pull. Right into the Entomb. Well predicted by Porky. They get Cassia. Hyde gonna get a little bit of extra shields from the Light Bomb. The last action. Hyde in full retreat. He's got a medallion, but he's got nowhere to go. He quick heals, but he's gonna be taken out. In the meantime, Conflagration is doing a lot of damage to Porky. Tormented Souls in the backline as Nacho Jin goes for one valiant effort to try and burst through enemy heroes, but they're buying time on all this is happening. While they're doing this, the other lanes are not being depushed. Spell even comes in with Avatar to buy some time to stop Porky, clearing this out as Lockdown gonna try a multi-breath, finds no one, does not find the angle. Spell and Lockdown doing their best, but virulent reaction is dangerous. You can see that Conflagration though forcing them to split, meaning they can't put too many people onto Spell. The keeps will live, but the pressure is applied. Health goes down. The keeps looking very squishy right now. Team Alexander, little shakier, but they're still in the lead. Nacho Jin gonna start onto this Bruiser camp. Needs to be careful. Enemies no longer showing on the map after clearing that wave, but Spell sees them. Spell saw Valimar there. Sees lots of people, in fact. Will interrupt Valimar. Again, still nearly enough for a turn in for ReGen. Lockdown with the interrupt this time. With the Molten Breath, Porky's going to try and turn in. Interrupted from below by Nacho Jin. He gets the camp. They are not letting this happen. Valkyrie, dodge, but Tormented Souls in the backline just deletes them. Beautiful play by Nacho Jin. Centurion is all alone in the enemy backline, and Nacho Jin is going for the 1v2. Lockdown's looking to maybe chase, but will not be able to catch up. Centurion is gonna maybe get away. Nope, Spell's committing to it. Spell wants it. Centurion's buying time. Doesn't land the slow. Oh, the Jukes. The Jukes, the 1v1. It's intense. I mean, Centurion's dead. The question is, how long is he going to be dead? Spell really trying to stagger this death. He knows if Chromie isn't here, then Chromie will not be available for that defense, so he buys as much time as possible there. The core is being focused down. That's what they've committed to here. Lockdown. Racing this. He's got those protection timings. It's looking like it might be with 40 seconds on Chromie. They might have bought the time they need. Here they come, Porky. Focus down. He gets the Entomb, but he's slain already. But he buys some time. Nacho Jin unable to get onto the core, but Lockdown is too tanky. They focus down the core, and that's going to be game number 4 going over to Team Alexander. And we have match point. The next game will decide who moves on in the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division. Team Alexander not going down without a fight. They refuse to be eliminated. Despite starting with 1 game down, they fight their way through Tomb of the Spider Queen. 14 kills to 6. Cassia doing so much work. But big shout out to, in this case, a significantly better Deathwing performance from Lockdown, thanks in part due to the freedom offered by Nachojin on Malthael. Those two working together in tandem. Deathwing zones out the front line, and Malthael dives the back line. You either charge through and ignore Malthael, which means he kills, you run into Deathwing, or you back up, and Malthael's there, keeping you still so that the rest of the team can attack. Really nicely played, beautifully executed. Big fan. Here's the Deathwing build. Unsurprisingly, it's just Draconic Might. That can be swapped out with the regeneration talent. But overall, the other talents don't change too much. Infernus, Wicked Inferno, and Conflagration. He did go for Stood in the Fire, which is always fun. Good level 20. And of course, Death Drop. If it's a bigger map, you can go instead for the Firestorm, so you can get that extra cooldown reduction and make you more global. Malthael, though, Fear the Reaper, allowing him to chase down these members in the back line. With the Throwing Shades, gave him that extra range and a little bit of extra damage, recently buffed, to combine with Massacre and Mortality, allowing him to dive into the backline, get Tormented Souls, and kill everything. Couldn't be countered because he went for inevitable end, making him cleansable. Who do I think has the best chance of winning the season? Good question. It's going to be tough. I think it's between Team Exodia, VGM, or Chili Mountain. I'd love to see Team Alexander, and I think they can, but they've got to show up, and they've shown to be a little more inconsistent. Chili Mountain had a really rough start to the season, but they really played better in the latter half. VGM as well, really solid in the qualifiers, but seemed to struggle a bit later, and Team Exodia were a late addition, who are already performing really nicely. Excuse me. It's gonna be close. It's one of those four teams. Exodia, Chili Mountain, VGM, or Alexander. It really does depend on who shows up, because these teams are really, really good. Any of those could win. It really does depend on what they show up. I think I'd rate it in terms of likeliness. Chili Mountain, because their latter season has been properly stellar. Exodia, Alexander, VGM. But it's still really close. It's so hard to predict. It's going to be really, really difficult. Alrighty, we have our maps. Excuse me. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Alrighty. Well, surprise news, ladies and gentlemen, as we head into the map choice. So I show you where we're heading for our final game of this series. Ladies and gentlemen, right now is the map choice of ReGen. ReGen, despite losing that game, chose to choose the map and are taking us to Alterac Pass. Well then, ladies and gentlemen, Chili Mountain. This is technically a Chili Mountain. Chili Mountain Tremor. Is that it? Did I hear Exodia? Players having fun. It's really great to see like the players coming in, scouting their opponents. Always wonderful. Always great to see. Welcome everybody. Hope you're having a good time. And to the rest of the audience, if you are enjoying... Hang on, let me let the players know that I'm ready. Caster R. Of course, if you are enjoying the games today, then make sure to drop a subscribe to the Nexus Gaming Series channel or donate some bits. This means you'll be supporting me directly due to during Storm Division games, the bits and subscriptions go to the caster, which is very appreciated. But if you want to support the actual players, then you can do that by jumping in with !Matcherino. And if you do that, you'll be taken to a link to Matcherino where you can donate directly to the prize pool for Storm Division. Right now, it's at $1,500. I think we can get 2,000 by the end of the season, I believe. So, show me that I am correct, and we'll have some fun when that happens, because we want to support the players putting on such amazing games for us. The draft has already started. Support your caster with subs and bits. Support the players with Matcherino. Support Nexus Gaming Series with Patreon. Nexus Gaming Series Heroes. As we see Garrosh and Ana banned out. Surprise, surprise. Team Alexander, very, very samey bans. But ReGen, they banned out the Cassia. They went without it one time, and they're getting punished for it. ReGen removing the Sylvanas as well. Really targeting Gondar's hero pool this game. Excuse me. Team Alexander. They first pick Chromie. It's finally been given to them. Have ReGen made the mistake? Johanna early. Very early Johanna this time. For Hotcho. It's good on this map. Decent wave clear. Great disruption for the objective. And Brightwing, this time for ReGen. ReGen picking up the Brightwing. It was picked by Team Alexander in game number 1 and was less than successful. But in this case, ReGen grabbing it very quickly. Spell Armor is a great counter to Chromie, and this is why Brightwing, one of the many reasons why Brightwing is actually pretty solid these days. Chromie being so popular, that Spell Armor is wonderful. That Global Soak is great. That's a very early Rhaegar. This draft is all over the place here. The Rhaegar with the potential Ancestral Healing could be fantastic to keep people alive. If not, are they considering a Bloodlust? DTC benefits from Bloodlust. Chromie less so. There are several options here. Of course, Rhaegar, way better wave clear than Brightwing in terms of split soaking capabilities, but a slower rotator. Greymane. Banned away from Team Alexander. They are scared of the Bloodlust too. Very sensible. We still have Raynor available, but usually Lockdown seems to be the team's Raynor player. So we will see. Abathur taken away here. Abathur plus Johanna would be really scary. Don't blame them for removing that. Now then, ReGen Gaming. ReGen Heroes. They get the Gul'dan. People do love Demonic Pacts, as the chat says. And Zeratul. Zeratul on the board. This is to focus down the Chromie. Right now, being hovered by Centurion, implying that this is Zeratul's second damage dealer, unless they swap to have it as an offlane, which is a quite likely option. This might also just end up being a more damage-focused offlaner, so they can just go for kill potential. Zeratul very sensible, though, very smart, very good hero just for killing off backline members. Raynor, though, a lot more sustainy, will help out. And Dahaka! They get themselves some Global Soak. Dahaka also receiving some buffs to some lesser picked talents recently. But Dahaka on the board going to make it a little bit more difficult. Excuse me. Dahaka on the board going to make it a little bit more difficult for ReGen to make the most of Zeratul offlaning, if that is the case. It's a big map, and definitely will prevent Brightwing from getting a Global Soak. But there's the Vikings to finish out the draft for ReGen. Vikings into a Dahaka. Dahaka can struggle to catch Vikings sometimes. That's going to make up for the split soak that they lose a little bit with Brightwing being slower than Dahaka. The Vikings make the difference. It's going to be enough, though. The percentage damage from Vikings will be pretty rough for ETC later. But again, newly buffed Dahaka, is it going to be enough? It's game number 5, ladies and gentlemen, between these two teams. Is it going to be enough? This is crazy. The final game of this series. Winner will move on, still with a hope of winning the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division. The loser will be eliminated and will have to deal with the relegation system for Storm Division. Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen. The game has begun. Let's get this going. On the right-hand side, from North America, it is Team ReGen. Valamar playing the Brightwing. Using Chromie to get some vision on the enemy team. See their talents early. We see Valamar on that Brightwing. We see Porky on the Lost Vikings. Unaverted on Gul'dan. Hotcho on Johanna. And Centurion busting out the Zeratul. And now, on the left-hand side, from South Korea, there's going to be Team Alexander with Nacho Jin on Dahaka. Hyde, bringing out the Rhaegar. Gondar, bringing out Chromie. Lockdown, taking quite a bit of damage already. But he's going to be on that Raynor. Spell on the ETC. They go deep. Spell Looks for a Viking. Cannot find it. The sand is enough to get it, though. Dahaka gets the final part of the kill. But Centurion already showing the power of Zeratul, and that is pre any of the really deadly talents. But he starts to bully Hyde. One more heal for Nacho Jin. Porky setting it up. They're just going to try to heal Nacho Jin early. He has to burn the essence spell. Going to come down, see if they can punish it. Not going to be able to. They focus the Viking down. That will be a Viking kill. 2 Viking kills down at the early stage of the game. Let's have a look at talents. Rhaegar busting out the Wolf Run. He needs to be mobile. Needs to be on the map. Needs to be everywhere. We're going to be seeing a Pursuit of Flame. Really trying to get some extra burst here. Viking Bribery. Only 2 camps able to be taken with Bribery on this map. Both the Knoll camps on either side. Vikings are going to be trying to steal those. Team Alexander, for now, staying on top of it. This will be prevented at this stage. Porky going to be left alone with this one. There we go. Unaverted will help. In the meantime, top lane, Porky took a little bit of damage on Eric. Hotcho going to come in and help out. Is it enough to burst? It is not. Porky will survive this time. Keeps that soak going. Allows Hotcho to leave. Spell, not with the best wave clearer at this stage. He is not the best wave clearer on his team by a long way. At least now. Might be later. Gondar, a lot of damage coming in. Brightwing, good corruption. Using the time trap to buy time, but Gondar will still be sniped. He tries to take out unaverted on the way. Nacho Jin even coming in to try and get the follow-up onto that, but it's not enough. They're forced to back up. They did get Zeratul. That's the trade. 1 for 1. Eric the Swift. Right now, Eric has been replaced by Baylog. Took too much damage. Baylog will get the soak going in there. Lockdown, who did go for Exterminator, able to clear out these bruisers very quickly. Hyde. Bringing out the Stormcaller here. Gives him quite some solid wave clear. Lockdown. Quite a bit of damage, but will survive here. Doesn't have his E up yet. Dahaka's already made his way back down to bot lane. XP in favor of Team Alexander so far. They're holding this quite well against the Vikings, but it's the objective where we're going to start to see issues. It's a cleave build Zeratul, by the way. We'll have to see what level 7 he goes for. Will it be Wormhole, or will it be the Singularity Spike dive? Good kill on Eric there. Sniping that down. Dahaka just heads straight back down to bot lane. They're not going for the objective at all yet. Straight in for the race. Reyna solos the mercenary camp. Again, preventing Vikings from finding it. Camp being taken by Valimar and Unavert on the other side. Still no bribes. Brightwing with the Dream Shot. Gondar going to try and channel, but he will be interrupted by Centurion. Time Trap is there. Gets Johanna. Here comes Hyde. This will protect Gondar for a little bit. Brightwing TPing into Zeratul, buying them some time at level 7 on the board. Talent advantage for Alexander, sorry. I ain't a Foo Fighter. Yes, so smart. Echo Pedal coming in for ETC right now. Starters, it's a second chance to reveal Zeratul. Gives them some great revealing capabilities. Reyna has been slain thanks to the gank. Second, gives him wave clear. Last spell to actually zone lane against Vikings to buy time for the team. Neither team any objectives. Centurion in. He did go for the Singularity Spike. Seeker in the dark style of engage. Spell backs up. Gondar forced away. Do they have enough sand to delay this? Again, Vision. Into channel. Baylog sniped by ETC and Rhaegar. Gondar, good damage onto Unaverted. This might allow them to engage. Stun by Spell. Going quite deep. They're going to try and face down Unaverted here. Alexander looking for the Gul'dan, and they are able to pick that up. In the meantime, Centurion was able to do a little bit of damage to the backline, but forced to escape. Hotcho predicting the power slide, but it's not enough. The attempted teleport from Valimar, but not able to be executed. Nacho Jin in the meantime, making the most of that global. Walked up to this, saving that global for later. And is going to grab the objective, or at least start it. Centurion revealed by Chromie there. They begin to duel. Here comes Brightwing. Valimar coming in for the delay. Nacho Jin tanking through this very well. He's gone for tissue regeneration, by the way. Gondar, huge damage to Valimar. Point blank sad, and Hyde gets the kill. Gondar avoided the Singularity Spike as well, preventing Centurion from making that a 1-for-1. And even with the Vikings, thanks to Spell, Soaking, this is 100% going to be a stage dive build, by the way, I'm predicting. And boop, nice. Centurion backs away. But even with the Vikings, thanks to the great management of Team Alexander. Nacho Jin soaking bot lane. ETC taking time to make sure he cleans out top lane and farming the Vikings. 5 kills to 2 right now. They hold an XP lead. They hit level 10 first. Really great management by Team Alexander, shutting down the Vikings play. Although Lockdown nearly gets bullied by Baylog. Hotcho zoning back, buying time. Brightman coming in to assist. In the meantime, Centurion dropped low once again. Lockdown is really low here, but Hyde healing him up quite a bit and using his E as well. Had forced to back up, did some hero damage there. Horrify, level 10s for the side of ReGen. Lockdown will be chased out. And that is going to be only the 3rd kill for ReGen, but it's very important for them to get this. Play again, used by the Vikings to help clean this up. I don't think they save this. Actually, they do. Minions are distracted. Minion wave comes in, Vikings spin, and yeah, they will save this fort. I think I spoke too soon. Ooh, unlucky. Baylog positioning a little bit off there, not making the most of the AoE damage, meaning they lost quite a bit. In the meantime, gank into the top lane, trying to hunt down unaverted. They use the isolation onto Johanna, but she's able to get through it. Rhaegar sniped by Zeratul in the backline. Unaverted is juking and jiving and baiting him. He's going to try and escape. Spell comes in, and they finally will get that cooldown. They look for Centurion too, but he blinks away from it, so they turn to Hotcho. Falling sword to escape. Centurion went back in. He'd already used all his escape tools. Will get sniped, and they get Eric as well. It is a bloodlust composition. By the way, they are really willing to go for these fights. Zeratul going with Void Prison. Very old-fashioned build here. See if it works out for him. Team Alexander going to race down the boss here. They're in the right spot. In the meantime, the Vikings begin to close the gap. A couple kills have been acquired. Vikings triple soaking, closing that experience lead back towards their favor. Johanna has died. T-Tours. Don't know what she was doing this far out. I assume she was dragged. Mercenaries being taken, and that's what we were been expecting all game, and it took them that long to do it. Porky stealing away the camp. Siege camp being removed here. Hyde going very deep for Porky. No knolls available. And Eric killed off by ATC? Where was Eric? Oh, Dahaka. Dahaka found him. Alrighty. Vikings just being hunted all over the map right now. Porky will escape this time, though, with Baylog. Nacho Jin begins to clear up secondary knolls. Centurion cleaning up. Nice job there. And boss is on the board. Johanna very far up, still pushing. Trying to get value here. Hotcho really playing aggressive with this. You can see Valimar is in range to come in with Blink Heal if needed. This is going to be a big push into the bot lane. Everyone except Dahaka down here for Team Alexander, and there is a bush right here he can brush stalk into. And also one where Johanna is. They make their way in. We see the Primal Rage. Falling Sword lands on Spell and Hide, but they tank through it. Nacho Jin is already burrowed in, tries to drag, but blocked by Iron Skin. Big rush onto Centurion. They have to VP. That buys them time. Vikings are split pushing. Horrify gets Dahaka in a rough position, but the stun comes out. It's enough to finish off the Zeratul. Nacho Jin going very, very deep. He's taking keep damage, but they're just going to try and snipe out Gul'dan again. Big rush, power slide, but a fantastic condemn pulls them back. The body blocks coming in, but unaverted escapes. They try to rush the keep instead. Chromie sieging in. Nacho Jin resets aggro on himself by burrowing. And they get the keep. First keep of the game going over to Team Alexander. Boss too low to end. But they set themselves up for map pressure. And they're going to be able to use this low health fort to grab a little bit of extra XP. Meantime, Vikings. Porky's just going to port the hell out. Doesn't want to die on Olaf. Baylog waiting it out though. Not going to take the risk of port. Not going to port back yet. Just going to take the risk. No steal this time. Team Alexander able to make their way back in. There's the Hunger of the Wolf. Earth Shield and Stormcaller. Very unconventional Rhaegar build. But in terms of 1v1s, combining Wolf Run with Hunger of the Wolf and then going for this little bit of this Earth Shield, it's kind of good for in terms of DPS. It's really good just for murdering people very quickly. Charge forward. Looking for Hotcho. Falling Sword used defensively for the 3rd time. Falling Sword being used more as an escape tool than anything else. There's Drag. Balog jumps, and Balog escapes. That's Eric, sorry. Eric tries to interrupt, instead loses his life. Camp being channeled. ETC still clearing out here. Stage dive, remember, and encore, so he's already going to be able to rejoin the fight very quickly. Eric now. See Olaf with Largen in charge. There's the Horrify, cleansed out by Rhaegar. Stage dive into the backline, trying to get Valimar here. There's Bloodlust, only hits Chromie and Reyna, but that might be enough as VP was only used onto ETC. Hotcho being absolutely destroyed by Lockdown. The Vikings look for Gondar, but instead they will find only pain and only meat as ETC chases them down, but it might be enough for them to get away here. But it's still a double kill. Johanna and Zeratul will be the ones to be slain. Hyde being forced to back away. They do get Olaf. Not enough for anything else. Objective channeled once again, and Team Alexander looking to end the path of ReGen here as Spell retreats. Flee, buddy, flee! But the chase is too good for North America. ReGen look to hold, but they can't get Spell. Level 20 for Chromie. Level 18 talent available. Yet to be picked. Finally coming in. Piercing Sands. So much damage on Vikings. That's so much value as well. So much damage coming in. They pile on the pressure. Eric nearly getting one-shot by that. Centurion goes in, but loses half his health. Just trying to get in here. He's got Void Slash now, but he really needs that healing. Needs level 20. But they are 2 levels away. Falling Sword, they look for Lockdown. He gets cleansed by Hyde here. Beautifully done. They look for Zeratul. They get him. That's so much damage removed. Power Slide as a crab. Spell gets him. Gul'dan is taken out as they chase forward. Second keep is down. Big stun by Olaf onto Spell as they try to rush it down. No percentage damage though means they don't have the damage maybe to deal with this. It's up to Brightwing. Hotcho gonna be healed up by Valimar. Vikings take it out. The core is focused down. And with that, one last attempt from Hotcho, but he can't do it. Team Alexander with the reverse sweep will survive in the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division. Team Alexander victorious in a 3-2. If it hadn't been for the loss of that first map due to being late, it would have been a 3-1. But in this case, they fought their way back. From the brink of defeat, Team Alexander claim victory over ReGen. Look at the experience gained here in comparison between the two teams. The Vikings, of course, topped it out on 18,000. But the next highest person in their team was Johanna, who we saw spent a lot of time split soaking and is the team's main tank with 7k. There are 3 members on the side of Team Alexander, 4 members in fact, who beat Johanna. Rhaegar and Reyna both were able to split soak and clear the lanes. ETC spent most of the game split soaking, same with Dahaka. And they used that to neutralize the Vikings. They just picked a double global, the front line in fact being double global. And they used that to counteract and neutralize the composition. Beautifully done. Very nicely done indeed. And thank you for the gifted sub, Softbird. Gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Weary Day, Liberty Trisket, Simply Heavy, hey Heavy, IPK Fire, and Moon Sunrise. Congratulations on your gifted subs. Remember, when you subscribe to the Nexus Gaming Series channel, or donate bits to the Nexus Gaming Series channel during Storm Division games, the income goes directly to the caster at the time. So once again, the next game, I believe, I will double check for you. The next Storm Division game is going to be cast by Crushinator. That will be VGM versus Velocity, and that is in 1 day and 22 hours. So there you go. That's when the next game will be. So basically 2 days. So make sure you tune in for that. 3 AM British time, so 1 hour before this game started. No, wait, exact same time as this game started. I'm really bad at counting. But once again, if you do support the player, if you do want to support the casters, that is an amazing way to do it. We work hard. We do what we can. We also have a lot of fun while we're here. Oh, actually, I forgot to do that. I've got to do the talents, so let's do talents quickly. So, here are the talents at the end. I was going to look at the new Dahaka talents, because he might have picked in some of the new ones. Tissue Regeneration, Hero Stalker. One of those Viking kills. Very nice. Feeding Frenzy, Isolation, no surprise there, Primal Rage. Wow, he just picked like none of the new talents. Feels good. Feels good. ETC, very sensible here. Still went loudspeakers, just to get the combo with Encore here. To get the extra cooldown reduction on Stage Dive. Very smart. And Showstopper for the hard engages. Really an important talent these days due to the nerfs to the earlier healing. He went for Prog Rock as well. Extra healing against Zeratul. Always welcome. Could have gone for Block Party, but he could already see a Greater Cleave on Centurion, meaning it was less important. We also have, again, Zeratul. Full Cleave build. But when for Mending Strikes, interestingly enough, I think if you're going to go for Cleave build and play it like that, I think the Shield talent, personally, is very valuable. But we're not seeing that in this case. Brightwing still tried to sneak in Hush at the end, combined with Dream Shot. The healing output was really good, and it was a well-played game by Valimar. And big shout-out to Undersung Hero in that game, Unaverted, who just dropped some absolutely insane Horrifies to buy time for the team and to turn around a lot of those games and a lot of those fights. It was very effective, but it wasn't enough in the end. Alrighty. Here is the only thing that keeps you sane these days. Yep, it is all what heroes is important to the mental health around these times. Feels good. Alrighty. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me today as your caster. Once again, tune in tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 10 p.m. EST, 7 p.m. PST for VGM versus Velocity. That should be fun. That's going to be cast by Crushinator. So if you liked Crushinator, make sure you show up to that and subscribe or donate bits during that stream. That shows that you support that caster and that money goes to them. If you enjoyed me, last chance before the stream ends, make sure you donate bits or drop a subscribble. Subscribble that bizzle. I am very fly. You can drop those in the chat, and that will support me directly. Once again, check out the Matcherino. I still think we can make it to 2K on the Matcherino. We can support the players by doing so. Be incredibly helpful to them. We want to show people that Heroes still stands. Not just in one thing, in all things. Support all heroes. You can do that by supporting the prize pool. Would be appreciated. For now, though, that's it for me. I need to go practice with my team because we have a game like in a couple days. For now, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I have been Tetcher, your commentator for today. Thank you all for watching, and see you all next time. Mods, raid us. Maybe. We'll see if there's someone who needs that raid. Thank you all for watching, everybody. I hope you have a good evening. Best of luck, and good night. Bye!